Hello everyone and welcome to my review of Kong Skull Island. So Kong Skull Island tells the story of this group of explorers who are going out to Skull Island to figure out some inexplicable things that have been going on. And of course, one of the government agencies behind this is Monarch, which you might remember from the film Godzilla. And they are out to gain evidence of King Kong's existence. However, this other military group that is with them does not know that they are going out to find evidence. They believe that it's just a scientific exploration, and it has to do with what happens on that island and some of the conflicts between these two groups. Not a good movie, guys. I was really disappointed after seeing Kong Skull Island. I think I cannot say that I hated this movie because there were a lot of scenes that just matched my expectations. Nothing ever went above or beyond my expectations, but I still really... The characters in this movie are just so bland, and that's one of the things that I'd like to start off with, like just the characters, because the characters were really bad in this movie. Every single character in this movie, played by some all-star cast member, was so bland, so boring. I mean, if you can make John Goodman be boring, then, sir, you are definitely trying to make this movie boring, because every character was just so bland, and I did not care about every character. Every character was just a pawn to be eventually killed off by some huge monster, or to be kicked out by King Kong or something like that. It was just so boring, every character, especially Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson. Every time they were on screen, I was bored out of my mind. I just kept waiting for the next monster to show up, and it just never happened because there were so many quote-unquote character moments in this film that were so boring, so bland. It was really bland characters. That's one of the huge problems with this movie. Let's talk about Tom Hiddleston in this movie, because you'd expect him to be good, but his role was so little. On top of that, the blandness and every dialogue was so boring, and he was just the savior in every scene, and you just knew exactly what he was going to do. There were a couple of cool scenes with him killing a couple things, and that was it. That was the majority of his character. That was all we got out of him, and it was really depressing to see, since I know that Tom Hiddleston and even Brie Larson, she's in this movie. Such a waste of a role for her. It's just a nice, good paycheck in my opinion, but she wasted her talents. Almost everyone wasted their talents except for one person, and you know who I'm talking about. Awesome in this movie, as usual. He had a bit of a different sort of role in this film, no spoilers, but he had a different sort of a role, but still he was awesome as usual. He had the best dialogues. Perfect. Sam Jackson, you're so on it, man. Just keep on doing what you're doing, and he was the savior of this movie for me personally, because all the other characters were so bland, so boring. John C. Reilly put in a good performance too, but he wasn't enough to say this movie is more like a comedic relief actor. I think Sam Jackson, without Sam Jackson, I don't think I would have even enjoyed this movie as much as I did. But Sam Jackson was not the only thing that I enjoyed in this movie. There were a couple other things that I enjoyed. King Kong, he was awesome in this movie. I think they really used King Kong to the potential that they could have used. Jordan Bo Roberts is the director of the movie. And overall, the pacing and style he took for this movie, and I'm going to compare a little bit to 2005's King Kong, Peter Jackson King Kong. Personally, I really like it. I know a lot of you don't like it out there. I really like that film. A little bit long, but still. This 2-hour film, it kind of wanted to go down the cheesy route, the action-packed route. There was no dread throughout the movie, no excitement or anxiety, no build-up toward King Kong, and that kind of frustrated me, because honestly, King Kong is a character that is not only just this awesome ape who will kill and bend helicopters, which is what he's doing in 90% of this movie, but he's supposed to be something you fear. And I think Garth Edwards' Godzilla did a great job of creating that dread before the monster's first appearance. At the same time, the route the director decided to take is one that is all-out King Kong action, which I think if you want to see King Kong go all out and just enjoy huge explosions, him bending things, killing things, fighting tons of monsters, I guess you could enjoy it that way. But for me personally, I like the horror style of it more, where there's a little more dread, a little more fear before we get to see the monster. And that doesn't really exist in this movie. King Kong was around in the movie quite a bit. So if you're into seeing him, if you want to see him more on screen rather than just that having that feeling of dread, I guess you could enjoy Kong Skull Island more. But for me personally, the screenplay wasn't written well because I liked that feeling of build-up toward seeing something awesome like King Kong on the screen. Look, I'll be honest, if you're looking for an average passing of time, it's not a bad movie. There are a couple of good fight scenes I enjoyed, but I mean, if you're gonna look for a good film, I would not suggest seeing Kong Skull Island. It's not worth their money. It's not really worth their time. Rent it on DVD, watch it on Netflix for an average time of viewing a film. So I'm starting to use the out of 10 system instead of the out of 5 system. So I'm going to give Kong Skull Island a 6 out of 10. Very average film. Don't recommend seeing it in theaters. Catch it on DVD or Netflix. Don't even buy it on Blu-ray. A couple of good fight scenes. Watch it on YouTube. I mean, it's not really worth it, is what I would personally say at this point. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe and keep watching more videos of mine. I'm hoping to have more content out soon, different types of content out. Thank you very much, guys.